first, Ted, for your wonderful, wonderful presentation. I was really touched. There's a lot of similarity between my story, you listened a little bit about that, and yours. But I was really touched by the fact that through all this journey, we came to create such an atmosphere, such an organization where you really encourage, spearhead transformation. This is really beautiful. How out of the ashes, something this beautiful can come out. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Um, Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Picture a young, ambitious, curious, bold girl who grew up in Central Africa in the early 80s. This girl is sitting by the dawn of the night, counting the stars, with a kerosene lamp next to her and a mathematics book worn out or being used and reused because the girl loved mathematics. This girl believes she can do anything she put her mind into. She wanted to become the first woman to go on the moon. Well-meaning aunts and uncle will tell her there's no business for a girl, for a woman to go beyond our galaxy. And it's the woman's job, the woman's role, to get married, have a lot of children, and cook food for her husband and her children. In most of her science and mathematics class, she was mostly always the only girl. Her classmates who were boys would make fun of her, telling her that girls don't belong to mathematics, they belong to marriage. Very quickly, she had to learn to speak up for herself, to be confident. She worked twice as harder as her classmates who were boys. She got A in all her classes because she deeply believed that science didn't have any gender, neither ambition. My name is Marie-Ange Eyoum Tagne. As maybe you could have guessed, I was that little girl. I grew up in Central Africa. Go to the next slide, the next one. Yes, I grew up in Cameroon. Somebody asked where is Cameroon? It's right there in Central Africa. This is the flag. The big country is Nigeria. My parents divorced when I was 5 years old, like you said. So in Cameroon, divorce was taboo, like I'm guessing in many conservative culture. So it was actually shameful. So my mom got the custody of me and my sister, and she got the daunting task to raise me and my sister as a single mom. She was a medical doctor, so a pioneer in her own time. So I had a good role model, but a doctor in Cameroon make $200 US, $300 US a month. So she said, knowing my passion for excellence as a go-getter, as somebody who wanted to go to the moon, she saved 10 plus years of her life to send me to the US. This is me in high school. I tell you, I was always the only girl. This is me with the classmates who were the boys. This is me and my sister. Let's go to the next slide. I arrived to the US. I was in Virginia 1998. The first semester, $50,000 US, that's what she saved for 10 plus years gone because of the tuition. What do? No money, no family. I had no family. I looked for a job, blue-collar job, rejection after rejection. Finally, a Hardee's restaurant is one of the fast food in the East Coast, gave me a chance. Starting from the bottom, I'm proud of that because it made me who I am. I was cleaning the bathroom. I was opening and closing the restaurant. I was flipping the burgers in the evening, every evening. And in the daytime, I was in school taking 26 units, that's 8 courses. That was double the amount of class that the undergrad is supposed to take. Why did I do that? Because I had no money. I had no family. I had to figure out how to shrink a 4 years program as small as I can. So I took as many classes as was allowed. I had to get a special permission from my the president of academic affairs to do that. So working hard in the evening, flipping burgers and taking 26 units taught me resilience, grit, determination, more than anything could have taught me. At the end of 2.5 years, I graduated from my undergrad, Virginia Union University, with a 4.0 GPA as the valedictorian. This is my transcript. I don't think you can see all the grade, but it was all A's. I didn't have a life. The sky was still the limit. I still wanted to go to the moon. I wanted to become an engineer, so I applied to the best engineering program in the US. That was MIT, Berkeley, and Stanford in engineering. Berkeley gave me full ride with a full scholarship. I had no second thought. I came to California 2001. What happened when I arrived to California? Corey Hall, those who are Cal Beer alumni, Corey Hall, the Center of Electrical Engineering and Computers Department, the first thing that hit me, imposter syndrome. I'm talking to somebody. I felt like I don't belong. I felt like, how can a girl like me, who grew up in a broken home, in a poor country, can compete with the best and the brightest mind of the world? Many of my classmates were the Zuckerberg, they've started company. Many of them have started coding when they were 5, 6 years old. I just started using a computer 2.5 years earlier when I arrived to the US. I was doubting myself. I felt so small. I took the pre-L exam, which is the exam that makes you officially a PhD student at the end of my first year, and I failed. I'm talking to somebody. That failure is real. And this was the first time of my life I failed, because I told you I was an A student in high school in Cameroon. I was an A student in undergrad. So it really shook my core. I felt, oh, I can't do this. Something happened. Professor Suje King, those who went to Berkeley maybe know her. She was the chair of the electrical engineering department and eventually became the chair of the engineering. And now she's in Washington, D.C., in the president of the Engineering Society of Engineering. She sat me down, I still remember clearly. She called me to her office. And she was not even my research advisor at the time. She just called me. She saw something in me. And she shared her story. I love when people share their story. She told me, Marie-Ange, me too, I came as an international student from Taiwan. My parents saved everything for me to come to the US. She was at Stanford. And I thought I was really good. I did well, but I failed my prelim too. And I look at a pioneer. She started the field that I was studying, silicon germanium MEMS. And I look at her, she tell me she fell. And she's so vulnerable. And she told me I almost quitted. I didn't feel like I belonged. But I decided to stay because I knew I had something to offer to the world of the science. And I believe in you, Marie-Ange. You can do this. You can do this. And I look at her. I start crying. And that belief that she put in me gave me the courage to come back the second year. I studied smarter. The first year, I really studied harder. The second year, I learned how to study, getting into small group with my classmates, and I was able to pass my prelim exam. So I was officially a PhD student. The last 4 years at Berkeley, that's my life. I was spending all my life in the clean room, making micromechanical system MEMS, sensor actuator. People who are not scientists, microscale is 1,000,000 times smaller than one of your hair. Nanoscale is 1,000,000,000 times, that's the scale I was working, 1,000,000,000 times smaller than your hair. Why do we have to wear those bunny suits? It's because it's so super clean, right? The little particle, even when you breathe, those particles in your mouth can mess up your transistor, your device. So I like to claim that's as close as I got to become an astronaut. I was wearing the astronaut. So I fabricated a sensor, a gyroscope, a floating gyroscope, which was novel at the time with silicon germanium's technology, a new semiconductor. So at the end of 5.5 years, let me stop here. I graduated from UC Berkeley, Electrical Engineering Computer Science Department, as the first woman born in the African continent. Since the 100 years the department was created. I give all the glory to that. I never knew that till I wrote my book. I never knew that. I was so focused on just getting the drill, the work. It's when I wrote my book that actually I called Berkeley. They said, you were the first African woman. What did it take? Grit, determination, resilience. Many times I felt like I will quit this. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I can't do this. But I stay. There was a lot of failure that I don't share. If you read my PhD, a lot of failure when you do research. But you continue in the grit and you learn through the process. Let's go to the next slides. Now, I've been in technology for the last, I want to say 20 years. I left Berkeley in 2006. Like Sabine mentioned, I work in many of the tech company, Fortune 100. At Intel, I was part of the team that built the first netbook. I was a small computing device before Apple launched tablet. same form factor, 7-inch, and same value proposition, content consumption. When Apple launched tablet, netbook died. We learned a lot of learning. I took netbook to Africa. That was really very precious to me. That was our CEO, Craig Barnett at the time. In education, bringing the technology to education. At Amazon, I built the Fire TV screensaver, content discovery on your screensaver. So if you use Fire TV, I go and you see those personalized recommendations, I built that. At Roku, I built the TRC, the Roku channel. If you have the Roku channel, it's advertisement video on demand, on Samsung, on mobile, on your web. I built that experience. At Yahoo, the commenting platform that you use every day on Yahoo News, Yahoo Sport, Yahoo Finance, to engage with user after you read an article, I go there and made it safe. And finally, at Meta, I work on compliance. How do we make sure that the company is compliant in trust and safety? My journey from humble beginning in Central Africa to building technology that billion of users are using around the world is a testament of grit, determination, faith, resilience. Why do I share that story? I don't share that story because I think it's unique. I think each one of us, we have a unique story. Each one of us, we have talents, we have skill set. But I share this story that because I believe that all of us, let's go to the next slide. We've been called for such a time as this. We have been called to make a difference, to leave the world a better place. That's the title of my book, that for such a time as this, you can live a life of purpose. For such a time as this, you can leave a legacy. And that's how I created this framework for my book. Let's now go to the last 3 minutes, the framework of purpose. I will have some book for those who are interested. I will sign some books so you can get more information. So this is a framework I built through when I was writing my memoir. It was basically, what do I want people to remember? There's a lot of story. I only went through 10% of my journey. There's a lot more in the book. But what do I want people to remember if they forget everything? You can live a life of purpose. All of us. So let me go through that. Let me go to the next slide. P is for preparation. Preparation means that you have to think about the long term. Where do I want to go? I wanted to become a scientist. I wanted to go to the moon. I told you that in Cameroon I was doing math. I was doing competition. When my friends were playing outside, I was already the one doing math competition. I was the one, my mathematics book in the night when I was counting the star. I love math, and I was really putting the effort. So preparation means you have to be prepared. You have to put the effort to where you want to go. Next one, U. So if you see the framework, P-U-R-P-O-S-E, right? Purpose. U means unwavering faith. I love what Ted mentioned. What is each one of us, we have values, we have faith. What is your faith? For me, I do believe in God, that definitely God has me there on earth for a purpose. And I know each one of you are here for a purpose. What I'm saying in you is that life will challenge you. But knowing that your life matters, knowing that you are not here by accident, actually will help you to stand when things go actually south. So that faith, that belief, that you actually here for a purpose is what I need unwavering faith. And this my faith also in God, that God has created me and I'm here for a greater purpose than myself. R, resilience. There's this say that if you've never failed in life, you never try. My kids are athletes. I have a 10 years old. My daughter, she's a fencer, a great fencer. My son is a baseball and basketball player. He's 8. Their coach, one of the first lessons when they started all this journey in athlete is that as great athletes fail, not only once, but multiple times. So the goal is not to fail, but it's learning through the failure. So you're going to fail, but resilience, learning why did you fail? When netbook failed, we had to quickly learn what happened, how can we do it better. So resilience is what you do when you fail. How do you stand up and continue to run the race? P, purposeful action. What are the actions you are taking every day to reach that goal? It could be baby step like coaching or getting into a network like this community to be able to grow. It could be taking a class. What are those purposeful actions every day? Every day can be baby step to be able to get to your goal. Others, I definitely believe in the power of others. It takes a village to raise a child. We say that in Africa, there's a proverb. Where I am, I stand in the shoulder of many giants. And as I'm learning, I'm growing, I want to be able to lift other people. That's what I mean by here. True success comes by looking back and lifting other people that comes after you. That's why I do what I do today, sharing my story with other people. That's why I'm sharing about Professor King, who sat me down and told me her own story. That's why I stay at Berkeley, because of that woman. So I want to encourage each one of you, and I think Ted mentioned that also. Reach out to somebody else. You have something that somebody else doesn't have, and help that person. And that's actually true success. Steadfast courage. It will take courage for you to accomplish it. I don't have time to go through many of the courageous steps that I've taken, but in many companies that I've been part, Meta, many of these big tech, there were decisions that I didn't agree. That is not the right decision. I had to take courage to speak up. That I'm a mom, and I don't want my kids to be exposed to this, for instance. How do we bring parental control? How do we bring other capability? Right? So it will take, sometimes you have to speak up, be the minority in the room. That's courage, which is okay, and that's true leadership. And finally, excellence. Continue to strive for excellence that will amplify your impact. People will call you to their team when they see your excellence, when they see how you care, how you put the work. Strive for excellence. So this is the last slide now, and you can take a picture on all that. So I have books, I have more on that framework. Thank you so much.